All right, so get this. We're diving into the Tang Dynasty, and get this, through a board game.
Wow. Okay.
Ever heard of Tang Garden?
I have, actually. I've heard good things.
Yeah. We've got the rule book here and a few other sources, and honestly, I'm already kind of geeking out. You know?
I can see why.
It's not just placing tiles. It's like, you're building these incredible gardens filled with pavilions and bridges, even like exotic animals.
Yeah. What's fascinating is, how the game captures the essence of what gardens meant during the Tang Dynasty, which, by the way, was from 618 to 907 AD.
Wow.
We're talking a serious golden age for Chinese garden design.
Yeah.
These weren't just pretty spaces. They were status symbols, artistic expressions, and like places for intellectual gatherings.
Oh, yeah. I was reading about Emperor Xuanzong and his massive garden of the Majestic Clear Lake near Shan.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Just imagine.
Yeah.
This sprawling landscape, shimmering water, pavilions everywhere. Talk about making a statement.
And in Tang Garden, we're the designers.
Yes.
Trying to create something just as impressive.
Exactly. And the game, cleverly makes you consider the core elements, water, rock, and greenery.
Okay.
But it's not just like random placement. You have to think aesthetically, arrange those pavilions just so, add bridges, choose the right plants.
Oh, wow.
There's even a strategy to place some birds and goldfish.
So we're not just like slapping down tiles. We're thinking about like harmony and balance.
Yes.
Right? Like, is this where Feng Shui comes in?
Yes.
Because I know it's like a huge deal in Chinese culture, but I've always found it kind of mysterious.
Yeah, you're right on the money.
Okay.
Feng Shui is all about creating environments where energy flows well, and Tang Garden kind of subtly reflects that. Think about how you have to match terrain when placing tiles, strategically use walls to create enclosed spaces.
Right.
It's not just about like visual appeal, it's about a deeper sense of balance. So I'm already learning something just by like thinking about the game.
Right.
And speaking of visuals, can we talk about how gorgeous this rulebook is?
Oh my God.
The illustrations by Mato's Mizak are insane. It's like making me want to book a flight to China, right? Get on a plane.
The artwork definitely sets the scene. The variety of decorations, from delicate peonies to massive pavilions, is like incredible.
Yeah.
And the character miniatures add so much personality, you can practically picture them strolling through your garden, judging your design choices.
Which brings me to something else that caught my eye. Those visiting characters?
Yes.
It seems like they add a whole social layer to the game.
Yes.
Which is interesting because from what I've read, gardens in the Tang Dynasty were also social spaces.
Right. They were places to, impress people, hold gatherings, show off your wealth and taste. In Tang Garden, the visiting characters have different preferences.
Yeah.
So you're not just building for yourself. You're trying to please these virtual guests.
Okay. I have to know more about how this actually plays out.
Yes.
Walk me through like a typical turn.
Okay.
What kind of decisions are we making? And don't spare the juicy details.
Okay. Welcome back to our Tang Garden deep dive. Last time we kind of set the stage, the Tang Dynasty's love for gardens, the game's core elements.
Right.
Now let's get into the strategy, because believe me, there's more to this than making things look pretty.
Oh, I'm all ears. I'm starting to see how like every little decision matters.
Yes.
Like even placing a tile seems, tricky. You have to match terrain. Think about walls. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Where each move affects the next one.
Exactly. And those walls, they're not just for show.
Right.
In real Tang Gardens, walls provided privacy, defined spaces, guided the visitor's eye. Here, they're crucial for enclosing terrain and racking up those sweet bonus points.
Oh, nice.
It's fascinating how the game reflects actual design principles.
Yeah, and then there are those like special garden tiles, the Lotus Temple, Flower Temple, Rock Temple.
Yeah.
They don't even have to match terrain.
Right.
Which seems like a game changer.
They are. Think of them as strategic opportunities.
Okay.
Placing them near matching terrain can create a chain reaction of points and coins.
Oh, wow.
It's like finding a hidden oasis in your garden, a sudden burst of wealth and beauty.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about the decorations.
Yes.
Because I admit, like, at first I thought they were just for aesthetics.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing they're key to scoring.
They are.
And special abilities.
It's a clever balance between short-term gains and long-term planning.
Okay.
Some cards give you instant bonuses coins, advancements on your player board. Others have scoring icons that only pay off at the end if you collect the right sets.
It's like deciding, do I want to splurge now or invest for the future?
Interesting, yeah. And I bet the type of decorations you choose also affects the overall, like, feel of your garden, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you going for a, like, colorful flower-filled space, or a more zen, like, rock garden vibe?
Right.
It's like you're curating an art exhibit.
Precisely. You're thinking like a true Tang Dynasty garden designer, weighing aesthetic choices against strategic advantages.
Okay.
And don't forget those charming characters. They're not just adorable, they're crucial for endgame points.
Right.
But you have to place them carefully, considering their sightlines and preferences.
Right. The discerning guests.
Yeah.
We can't just plop them down anywhere.
Right.
It's like planning a dinner party, making sure everyone has the best view, the right company.
Yes.
I love how this reflects, the social aspect of Tang Gardens.
It really does.
Yeah.
Remember, gardens were places to impress, to network, to demonstrate your understanding of beauty and refinement. The emperor, for instance, loves dragon-themed tiles.
Okay.
The hermit prefers rock gardens.
Okay.
Knowing their tastes is key to maximizing your score.
So it's like a game of social chess.
Yes.
Anticipating your guests' desires and positioning them accordingly.
Exactly.
And speaking of strategy, you mentioned something earlier about influencing characters.
Yes.
What's that all about? Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground, building, decorating, schmoozing with the virtual guests.
Yes.
But, like, how does it all add up in the end? Like, what are we actually playing for in Tang Garden?
Well, the scoring is really fascinating because it reflects the Tang Dynasty's, multi-layered view of what made a garden great. It's not just about money or looks. It's achieving a balance between material wealth,
Okay.
those coins we've been collecting,
Yeah.
and a more refined aesthetic sense,
Right.
which comes from those card combinations and how we've placed the characters.
Yeah. So, like, I could have a gorgeous garden, but if I, like, ignored the strategic elements, I might still lose.
Exactly.
It's not just about being pretty.
No, it's not just about being pretty.
Okay, so break down the scoring for me so I can see how it all, fits together.
Okay, first you tally up all your coins, which come from various places, matching terrain, building those footpaths, placing the special garden tiles, completing objectives on your player boards,
Right.
even using the character abilities wisely.
Okay, so it's like reviewing your, like, financial portfolio
Yeah.
at the end of the game.
Yes.
You've got income from different ventures, reflecting all the, hard work of building and managing your garden.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Then we move on to the decoration cards. Those scoring icons,
Yeah.
now's when they pay off.
All right.
For example, a pair of Lotus and Peony cards score 6 points.
Okay.
Same with birds and fish.
Oh.
It's about creating these harmonious pairings,
Yep.
which reflects the Tang Dynasty's emphasis on, balance and complementary forces.
It makes me think of, like, those classic yin and yang symbols.
Yeah.
How opposite forces can actually create harmony.
That's a great connection.
Yeah.
And then there are cards that reward you for quantity.
Okay.
Having multiple bridge cards is worth 2 points each,
Okay.
reflecting the importance of those structures, connecting different areas,
Yeah.
creating flow,
Right.
and pavilions are the big prize.
Okay.
12 points for having the most, 6 for second place.
Wow.
They were status symbols in Tang society.
Right.
So naturally, they're important here too.
So not only am I building beautiful bridges, I'm also, like, showing off my wealth and influence
Yeah.
with those impressive pavilions. What about the trees? I noticed there are, like, a lot of different kinds.
Yes. The more variety of trees you have, the more points you get,
Okay.
reflecting the Tang Dynasty's appreciation for biodiversity and the abundance of nature. It's like you've curated your own miniature arboretum within your garden.
So much to think about.
I know.
And we can't forget the characters, we've talked about their, like, preferences, but how do they actually, like, factor into the scoring?
Each character scores points based on their placement and what they can see.
Okay.
Remember, there are discerning guests.
Right.
Every decoration within their line of sight is worth a point.
Okay.
But the real bonus comes from catering to their specific tastes.
Yeah.
Like the emperor who loves those dragon tiles, or the hermit who wants a serene rock garden.
So it's like the ultimate dinner party game.
Yes.
I've got to make sure my guests are happy, sitting in the right spot, enjoying the view.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant way to, like, incorporate that that social aspect of the Tang Dynasty gardens into the gameplay.
It really is.
And speaking of different ways to play, we should mention the Yin and Yang solo variant.
Yes.
It's a more like introspective experience, right? Where you're just focused on completing the central garden using a like streamlined set of rules.
Yes, so no competition, just you and the garden.
Yeah.
Trying to create something beautiful and balanced.
Almost like a meditation,
Yes.
but with tiles and decorations.
Exactly.
I like.
In the solo game, you don't use the player boards or the character abilities.
Okay.
It's about mastering the core mechanics of tile placement, matching terrain, and using those special garden tiles strategically.
And even though you're playing alone, you're still trying to like embody those core principles of Chinese garden design: harmony, balance, connection with nature.
Yes.
It's fascinating how a like board game can capture such a profound concept.
It speaks to the power of games to teach us not just about rules and strategies, but about different cultures and ways of thinking.
Yeah.
Tang Garden is a perfect example of that.
Well, we've covered a lot: history, gameplay, strategy, even philosophy. Any final thoughts before we say farewell to this beautiful game?
If you're looking for a game that is both beautiful and challenging, that teaches you about a fascinating culture and makes you think creatively, then Tang Garden is absolutely worth exploring.
It's a game that will transport you to another time and place and leave you with a deeper appreciation for the art and wisdom of Chinese garden design.
Absolutely.
Plus, you know, who doesn't love building something beautiful?
Right.
Thanks for joining up on this deep dive, and be sure to check out the show notes for more info and some stunning images of Tang Dynasty gardens.
Yes.
Until next time, happy gardening.
Through the valley where the willows weep, in the golden age where dreams run deep, we carve the streams, we shape the land, with nature's grace at our command. Stone and water, sky so wide, balance flows like the rolling tide. When noble come, their gaze so true, seeking beauty clear and new. Oh, Tang Garden, where the blossoms grow, where the moonlight dances on rivers below. Tiles lay gently, the landscape unfolds, a story of harmony, wisdom untold. Cherry trees whisper in the breeze, lanterns glow through silent seas. Step by step we place with care, a world beyond serene and rare. Stone and water, sky so wide, balance flows like the rolling tide. The noble come, their gaze so true, seeking beauty clear and new. Oh, Tang Garden, where the blossoms grow, where the moonlight dances on rivers below. Tiles lay gently, the landscape unfolds, a story of harmony, wisdom untold. Cherry trees whisper in the breeze, lanterns glow through silent seas. Step by step we place with care, a world beyond serene and rare. Bridges rising, birds take flight, panoramas paint the light. The emperor watches a peaceful view, a garden born from hands so true. Oh, Tang Garden, where the blossoms grow, where the moonlight dances on rivers below. Tiles lay gently, the landscape unfolds, a story of harmony, wisdom untold. As the final stroke is drawn, the world is still, yet life goes on. Each design a tale remains, a fleeting echo of beauty's name. Through the valley where the willows weep, We build a dream serene and deep. Tang Garden, forever bright, a masterpiece in golden light.